Hello students, today we'll see the second unit in civics, that is election, political parties and pressure groups. Introduction. An election is a formal decision making process by which a people chooses an individual to hold public office by voting. So we know what is election, right? So it will be held in a time period of 5 years, and it is a way to make the people to choose their representatives by voting. So we can choose our representatives by the voting process. So the people who are above 18 have the right to vote. So according to our constitution in our country, we are following this method. That is, the people who are above 18 have the rights to vote, have the right to select their representative. Electoral system in India. The electoral system in India has been adapted from the system followed in the United Kingdom. India is a socialist, secular, democratic republic and the largest democracy in the world. The modern India, the Constitution of India, came into force on 26 January 1950. Article 324 to 329 in Part 15 of the Constitution make the following provisions with regard to the electoral system in our country. The first point is Article 324 of the Indian Constitution provides for an independent election commission in order to ensure free and fair election in our country. At present, the commission consists of a chief election commissioner and 2 election commissioners. The Parliament may make provision with respect to all matters relating to elections to the Parliament, including the preparation of electoral rolls, the delimitation of constituencies, and all other matters necessary for securing their due constitution. The state legislatures can also make provisions with respect to all matters relating to election to the state legislature, including the preparation of electoral rolls and all other matters necessary for securing their due constitution. The electoral system which we are following here in India is adapted from the United Kingdom and our constitution. So India's constitution came into force, that is, it is implemented in the year of 26 January 1950. So according to the article 324 to 329, some provisions, some rules are there to follow in the election. So the first thing is there is a separate election commission to conduct the election. So our constitution that provides a separate election commission to conduct the election. So in this election commission there are 2 separate parties are there. So the first one is the chief election commissioner. So he is the head, and the second thing is 2 election commissioners are there under him. Okay, and then so to conduct an election, they want to prepare the electoral rolls and they want to prepare the department and they want to prepare the name list. So many works are there to conduct the election. No? So for that, Parliament is responsible to prepare all those things during the election. So they want to prepare the electoral rolls, they want to make separate departments, etc. So when it is the election which happen in state legislature, so when the election is going to held in state legislature, so they are responsible to prepare all those things. So the state legislature want to make the arrangements to conduct the election. Election process. At the national level, the head of the government is the Prime Minister, is elected by members of the Lok Sabha, the lower house of the Parliament in India. So Prime Minister is the head of the government. So he is elected by the members of Lok Sabha. So Lok Sabha is also known as the lower house of the Parliament. Introduction of the nota option. If the people in a democratic country are not willing to elect any candidate, they can vote for the option called nota, none of the above. Rule 49O in the Conduct of Election Rules 1961 of India describes this procedure. So in the election, there is a list of names, that is the person who are participating in the election. So the list of the candidates name will be given like this. So we want to choose one from that. So and also one more option will be there, that is nota. So nota means none of the above. So if you are not willing to choose any candidate from this list, we can make use of that nota. According to the rule 49O, the option nota will be included here. This is the option of nota which is included in the candidate list. This is included by the Election Commission of India. Types of elections in India. Elections are classified into two types, direct and indirect election. Direct election. People directly vote for the candidates in the fray and elect their representatives. The following are examples of direct elections in which people over the age of 18 years participate in the electoral process by casting their votes. Lok Sabha elections in which the members of parliament are elected. Elections to the state legislative assemblies in which the members legislative assemblies are elected. Elections to the local government, that is such as village panchayat, town panchayat, municipalities and municipal corporation are conducted by the State Election Commission. Two types of elections are there. So one is direct election, the another one is indirect election. So in the direct election, so as per the name, we are electing our representatives directly. So we are selecting our representatives directly, which is known as direct election. So the people who are above 18 have the right to vote. So the first point is in the Lok Sabha elections. So in the Lok Sabha elections, members of parliament, that is MPs are elected. So MPs are elected in the Lok Sabha elections. When in the state legislative assemblies, when the election is held to the state legislative assembly, the members of legislative assemblies are elected, that is MLAs, members of legislative assemblies are elected. When the election is held to the local bodies, that is such as village panchayat, the town panchayat, municipalities. So when it comes to the local government election, so the peoples of these departments are elected. So these elections are conducted by the State Election Commission. Merits. As the voters elect their representatives directly, direct elections are considered to be a more democratic method of election. It educates people regarding the government activities and helps in choosing the appropriate candidates, as also it encourages people to play an active role in politics. It empowers people and makes the rulers accountable for their action. Demerits. Direct elections are very expensive. Illiterate voters sometimes get misguided by false propaganda. Campaigning based on caste, religion and various other sectarian considerations pose serious challenges. Since conducting direct elections is a massive exercise, ensuring free and fair elections at every polling station is a major challenge to the Election Commission. There are instances of some political candidates influencing the voters through payments in the form of cash, goods or services. Election campaign sometimes results in violence, tension, law and order problems and affects the day-to-day life of people. Now we'll see the merits of direct election. So in the direct election, people elect their representatives directly. So we are electing our representatives directly. So it is considered to be a democratic method. What do you mean by democratic method? So the government that allows the people to choose their rulers. So that is called democratic method. Second point is people involved in political activities. So through this direct election methods, so government can make the people to involve in the political activities and they can came to know about the government activities. The third point is rulers are responsible for their action. So the rulers, so the representatives which they are selected by the people. So the representatives are responsible for their actions and functions. Demerits, very expensive. So direct elections are very expensive because they want to arrange a separate place to conduct election in separate places and they want to organize all the things which are necessary to conduct an election. So it is very expensive. Illiterates may be misguided. Illiterates means the people who doesn't have education knowledge. So the illiterate people can be misguided by some false propaganda. So there is a chance of misguiding the illiterate people. And also cash for vote. Some political candidates will give cash to the voters to register their vote to a particular person. So this may happen in the direct election. So this is a demerit and also law and order problem. So to conduct election, before 10 to 15 days before the election, they will conduct the campaigns. They will arrange some session or some meeting to make the people to register their vote for a particular person. So it may create a law and order problem and the day-to-day life may affect due to this problem. Indirect elections. Voters elect their representatives who in turn elect their representatives. This method of election is followed for the election of President of India. Merits. Indirect elections are less expensive. It is more suited to elections in large countries. Demerits. If the number of voters is very small, there exists the possibility of corruption, bribery, horse trading and other unfair activities. It is less democratic because people do not have a direct opportunity to elect, but they instead do it through their representatives. So this may not reflect the true will of the people. Indirect election. So the merits of indirect election are, it is less expensive because in the indirect election, so the people whom we are choosing as our representatives will elect their representatives. So this is less expensive. Only less number of people will involve in this election. So it is less expensive. And it is suitable for large countries. So when the population of a country is very high, so there is a challenge to conduct a direct election. So in those countries, they can make use of this indirect election. Demerits. Chance of corruption. So if the number of voters is very small, so if the count of the voters is very small, there is a chance of corruption that may happen there. And also people will not directly involve in election activities. So in direct election, we are choosing our representatives directly. So we can participate in the election. So people's activities can involve in the election. But in the indirect election, the person whom we are choosing as our representatives will elect their representative. So we are not directly involved in these activities. Political parties. Political parties are an essential part of democracy. Parties are the link between government and the people. So political parties are the necessary thing in a democratic country. So they act as a link between the government and the people. So the people are not directly linked with the government. So through the political parties only, they can make all their things. So meaning of political party. A political party is an organization formed by a group of people with a certain ideology and agenda to contest elections and hold power in the government. A political party has three components: a leader, active members, and the followers. So, political party is formed by a certain number of people. So, they formed a group and they'll participate in the election. So, if they win in the election, they'll hold any power in the government. So, this is known as political party. So, the political party has three components. They are the leader, the active members, and the followers. Types of a party system. There are three types of party system in the world, namely single party system, in which one ruling party exists and no opposition is permitted. China, Cuba, the former USSR, that is Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, are the examples for the single party system. Second one is two-party system, in which only two major parties exist. For example, USA, UK. Multi-party system, in which there are more than two political parties. For example, India, Sri Lanka, France and Italy. Three types of a party system are there. So first one is one party system, multi-party system and two-party system. In one party system, only one ruling party will be there and no opposite party will be existed. So this type is followed in China and Cuba. In two-party system, that is the major two parties will be existed in the two-party system. This is followed in USA and UK. And in the multi-party system, so more than two political parties, if more than two political parties are existed, it is known as multi-party system. So this is followed in India, Sri Lanka, France and Italy. Types of political parties. So according to their influence, the political parties are classified into two, that is national and state party. So in every party there will be two categories will be there. So one is ruling category and the other thing is opposite party. Okay, so first one is ruling party and the opposite party. National parties. A party which is recognized as a state party in at least 4 states is recognized as a national party. Every party in the country has to register with the Election Commission, while the Commission treats all the parties equally. It offers some special facilities to state and national parties. These parties are given a unique symbol. Only the official candidate of the party can use that election symbol. In 2017, there were 7 recognized national parties. So if a party want to recognized as a national party, so the particular party want to become a state party for at least 4 states. So it want to become a state party for 4 states, then it can be recognized as a national party. And also every party want to register with the Election Commission. So the commission give the equal importance to all the parties and it will give some special facilities to the national and the state party. It will give a separate symbol for all the party. So only one candidate will be declared as an official candidate of a particular party. So this candidate can make use of that particular symbol. So in 2017, so there were 7 national parties are there. State parties. Other than the 7 national parties, most of the major parties of the country are classified by the Election Commission as state parties. These are commonly referred to as regional parties. A party is recognized as a state party by the Election Commission of India based on the certain percentage of votes secured or a certain number of seats won in the assembly. or Lok Sabha elections. So except the national parties, the remaining parties are recognized as a state parties. So it is recognized as a state parties by the Election Commission. So these parties are also known as regional parties. So how these parties are referred as a state party? So it is based on the percentage of votes they got in the election or the number of seats they won in the Lok Sabha elections.